So we're here with Corey Brotherson. He has some amazing books that we have that I've seen with very attractive covers. I noticed you have a vampire book over there. Tell us about that first, because in a weird way it looks delicious.
Well, thank you very much. This is Vampire Boogie. Now, this is only a preview, really, of the first issue that we're doing. Vampire Boogie revolves around the story of Dracula, and he's kind of a bit miffed. He's a bit annoyed that the fact that vampires these days are human-loving and sparkly and, you know, very...
What's wrong with that if they don't sparkle?
Well, you know, for humans, it's great. It's great, but for Dracula, you know, as the king of the vampires, he wants to be a little bit more kind of like, well, we're night stalkers. We feed on human flesh. We feed on blood. And he wants to reclaim that name. So his object here in Vampire Boogie is to get all the vampires from across the world. I mean, we're talking like South Africa, Australia, and they're very, very different vampires. You know, we have ones that hang in trees and swallow people whole and spit them back out again. And we've got ones which are kind of like wraiths, that possess dead bodies and stuff like that. He wants to get all of those together and say, let's reclaim the vampire name. Let's go out there and claim war on modern day vampires and also the authors, like such as my poor self, and kind of basically teach them a lesson.
So how would a vampire reclaim their identity back? Or if don't give too much away about the book, but just give me a little something to work with.
Well, basically, in Vampire Boogie itself, like you say, I won't give it too much away, but in Vampire Boogie, they've all gathered together in one little old abandoned opera, and it's actually a place where the modern-day vampires were originally going to get together and have a little party on Christmas Day. They were there to kind of go, oh, you know, this is the vampire condition, this is what it's like, you know, let's get together, have a little group. And Dracula and his posse rolled in and basically just eviscerated all of them, just wiped them out, just there and then. And he said, well, let's go out there and start terrorizing people. Let's go out there and start recreating the urban myth that vampires were known for. You know, hang in dark alleys, take people out, make sure that they're not entirely sure what they're dealing with, but we'll make sure that they know to be scared, to be terrified. So his objective there is to start attacking people in the lower parts of the community and work his way up. Even to start attacking a few authors as well. So, you know, I'm hoping that no one around here gets a little bit of a
yeah, I hope I'm not on that list. Yeah. Yeah. Tell us about the other works that you have here.
The other books, well, we've got my fantasy adventure series called Magic and Myths, which is being drawn by Sergio Calvet, who lives in Barcelona. Now, this is basically a fantasy adventure series where a young lady called Eve, who is this British teacher here, she's a bit downtrodden. She's teaching kids that don't want to listen. Her father wanted a son, so he's not very nice towards her, and her mother is very overbearing and protective, and she just wants to be appreciated. Like a modern day, you know, she wants to rise above everything else, wants to be known, wants to be recognized. And one day she's thrown into this strange fantasy world, and she's been told that she can be someone, she can be important, she can be significant to the world. She can do that by becoming a hero like Hercules or Perseus. So she decides, after a while of realizing this isn't a dream, she decides to take that up. So she gets this magical armor, she gets to go out on adventures and take part of trials and labors like a classical mythological hero. She ends up fighting against strange fairy tales and beings. So there's a lot of references here to like things like Snow White, Peter Pan, little references to His Dark Materials, which if any fans may notice, they may notice a similarity of a bear here from His Dark Materials. We've actually referenced that slightly.
Yeah, they have to read it first.
Oh, yeah. And she's going through all these trials and labors, and she's not realizing really what she's done, what she's actually accepted to do. And in the second season, which is in here as well, she finds out that she's actually part of, I'm not trying to give too much away here, but she's part of a massive warring gods situation where basically Roman and Greek gods are battling each other. They've decided that they're fed up of humanity thinking that they're one and the same, and they're going to try and wipe each other out. And she's actually representing the Roman side. She's been chosen as a champion to fight against the Greek champion as well, but that means she's going to have to kill somebody. And she realizes she doesn't actually want to do that. She's fed up of being controlled. So the story starts to follow her trying to escape that controlling nature of people around her, whether that's her parents or gods. But you can say no to your parents, you can't really say no to a Roman god. They tend to be...
That sounds really, really juicy. She's trying to find herself, but then who is she going to be controlled by? Does she know how powerful she is? Can she say no to both?
That's the question.
Yeah, I want to read it right now. Yeah, that is a good thing. Where can people check out your upcoming projects and books and stuff like that? Website, anything like that?
Well, basically, I work off a Blogspot at the moment. So Brotherson blogspot.com is my main kind of blog site. That usually covers all my projects. We're currently doing a website for Magic and Myths, and that is actually magicandmyths.com. there, but we also have a Facebook site as well. So if you type in Magic and Myths into Google or what have you, you'll be able to find that really quickly. I'm also doing a Facebook page for Vampire Boogie, which is very social media oriented because the main character is actually trying to find a way out of a fix using things like Facebook, Twitter. So I thought
it's really relatable then.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Well, ironically enough, the first person that bought a copy of Vampire Boogie didn't have a Facebook account.
Oh wow! Maybe this will help them get a Facebook account. Maybe. So, is this your first Comic-Con?
It isn't. It's my second.
Second.
Myself and my friend Yomi, who is basically the creator of another book called Clockwork Watch, which I'm the adapting writer for. We came last year and we launched a few books, and we had a fantastic time. You know, it's overwhelming, it's huge, and it's noisy, and there's so many people around, but it's incredible. So we thought we'd try and come back again this year, and thankfully we were accepted.
Do you have any tips for people that have not been to Comic-Con? Any tips? Any food preferences they should bring?
Anything with high amount of protein in it. Lots of water, snack bars, fruit. And if you're trying to buy anything here, you better be prepared with a lot of money because it's very...
I've seen the toys. They're kind of expensive.
They're really expensive, but people seem to find money for them. I've seen people with massive trolleys of huge toys coming out from like half an hour after the con's opened, and they must be going to sell them on eBay.
Awesome. Well, anyways, thank you so much, Corey. We're going to check out more of your books and upcoming projects on your blog.
Thank you.
And we'll check you out later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.